Why all day? I thought it was Monday. Hey y'all, it's Tuesday. Anyway, I wanted to come here. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been sharing like my runs on the stories, and I've been getting a lot of questions about like, am I a new runner or am I training for? There will be no marathons. There will be no half marathons. I'm not training for nothing. Um, it's funny, I've been sharing like parts of my fitness journey on here for so long. I kind of just assumed that most people already know. I'm actually curious how many of y'all who watch the stories have been following us since the beginning, who knows like my whole fitness journey story from the beginning, like who has been around that long, like you just know all the tea, the whole story. I have I'm not training for anything. I So when I first started like fitness, I don't even know if you would call it that, because I literally knew nothing about working out, nothing. In my mind, I didn't even know any names of exercises or nothing like that. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just go to the gym and get on some of those little like cardio machines, like the ellipticals, the treadmills, whatever. But I didn't even have a gym membership at that time. I had two daughters, 13 months apart. I gained a whole bunch of weight. And after I had my second daughter, I found myself still gaining weight postpartum. I was 196 pounds, and I was like sitting at home eating Pop Tarts and Eggos, and I was like, wait a minute. this I was like thinking that I was depressed and I was struggling with emotional stuff, and I'm sure a lot of it was postpartum and just the hormones and having two kids under two while working. I was taking classes. I was in college at the time. But I also could easily attribute a lot of how I was feeling to how I was living. And I was like, okay, I need to get my life together. Like, it's no way I should be waking up every day in my 20s, having no energy, can't fit my clothes. Like, just, I wasn't on a great trajectory. So I was like, I'm gonna start running. And life humbled me quickly. I honestly, it would take me longer to get the girls dressed, to get out all these cute strollers that I be seeing moms have, like how they're just so easy to use. I had a Cadillac, okay? That thing was the size of a Mini Cooper, and it was very heavy and it was not easy to use. It would take me longer to get clothes on the girls and to get them in the stroller than it would actually take me to do my walk. Because when I first started at 196 pounds, I could barely walk for 10 minutes without feeling like I was dying. We lived in Florida. I would just walk around my neighborhood, and 10 minutes was all I had. Like 10 minutes. That's it. I would come back and I would be tired. Like, I would be sweating. Then I would have to get the stroller back in. Then I would have to get the girl. Like, it was a lot. That's where I started. That is where my fitness journey started, walking around the block for 10 minutes. And then eventually I would work my way up. I would walk for 30 minutes. I got myself up to walking for an hour. Then we got a gym membership, and me and Corey used to like take turns where like he would sit in the front with the stroller and I would go work out for 10 minutes, and he would, I would sit up front with the stroller and he would go work out for however long. And then I ran a mile for the first time. I want to say it took me like it probably took me like 20 minutes, because my running at that time was more like a walking pace. And then I worked my way up to 3 miles, and I got to And so over time, I worked my way up to, I was getting up early to go to the gym before Corey would go to work, because that was really like the only time I had for myself. I was still in school. I was taking 18 credit hours at the time. By this time, the girls were like 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. And I was homeschooling them back then, letters, shapes, reading. And I would go to the gym in the morning because that was when I had time to just focus on myself. And I worked my way up until the point where I was running 5 miles every morning at 5 a.m. when the gym opened. And so cardio has always been a part of my fitness journey, but over the years I started to focus more on weightlifting and like really training my body, which I still do, but I've always included some form of cardio. Now I'm just doing it because I love to do it. It is challenging mentally. Sometimes I don't even listen to music or anything. And it's so funny because when I was kind of like having the feeling that I wanted to get back into running consistently, I was scared to death. Like, it's been years since I've run consistently. Every now and then I'll pop out and I'll do like 5 miles or, something light. But it wasn't something that I was doing consistently. So when I started, I don't know, like having that itch to run again, I was like, dang, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm like 10 years from when I first started my fitness journey back to that 10-minute walk. And I'm at least 7 years removed, which means 7 years older than when I was at my peak running performance, which was when I was like 29, 30, was when I had got to my max ability to run like 5 miles every day. So let's just give it up to the fact that like you can get better as you get older. You don't have to decline in health or ability or any of that. When I did start running again though recently, I was just trying to wear my little cute gym girly shoes. I have like a couple of different pair of Asics, and I think I was running in those, and my knees were not appreciating that very much. I was starting to get shin splints, which shin splints are horrible because it can be debilitating. So I don't know, one thing I always tell any client that I'm working with, that's why I always provide my girls with a routine, because structure is important. It's not just having a plan or having structure, but actually sticking to it and doing the things that are there. But flexibility is so important. I have a guide that anybody can follow. I'll post the link here. But if you are like interested in getting into running or just improving your lungs or your ability, your endurance, your ability to run for longer periods of time, invest in good shoes. Everybody's foot is different. Some people have wide feet, some people have flat feet. I have a high arch, so I will also post I'll try to find the link to the shoes that I am currently wearing. Like I said, I was running in the Asics. I have so many different like New Balance, like lifestyle, that are very comfortable. But when you talk about running distance, you need something that's going to be really good for your feet, especially if you are a maturely aged lady. So I'll tag those. They are New Balance. And for my foot, having a high arch, I haven't had any discomfort in my shins. I think just wear and tear on your body, you can, you feel when you've been running a lot. But the shoes that I'm currently wearing, I like a lot. This is not like a sponsored post. I'm open to a sponsorship with New Balance, but I'm open to that, of course. But the ones that I'm wearing have been a game changer. I think a good shoe is worth it. Like, you need a good shoe. My treadmill, my poor baby. I got my treadmill like at the beginning of the pandemic, maybe 2021, the beginning of 2021. And I've had it, it's moved with us. But I've been really like wearing her out lately. So I've been thinking about getting a new treadmill. The one I have is good. I know it's a NordicTrack, if that's how you say it. But I've been looking at some other brands. I've run on a Peloton before. I don't know. I need a treadmill that has a little bit of give to it. I don't want it to feel like I'm running on cement. So I've been doing a little bit of research on treadmills. I don't even know the exact model of NordicTrack that I have, but I think Techno Gym makes a good treadmill that I like. Peloton is okay, but I don't know. I am gonna see if that's something that we want to do right now. If you are starting your running journey or getting back to running, other than good shoes, one thing that helps when you're trying to improve the length of time that you're able to run is try sprints. Like maxing out on sprints, like just really going for it in 30-second intervals, as high speed as you can go. I like to do 10, but don't start there if it's your first time. But see what speed is like challenging, and incorporate those into your routine. Start with 10 sprints, and then just do 10 to 12 sprints every time you go to the gym or something like that. You can even do it outside, but maxing out running like that, when you take the speed down, your endurance to run at a slower pace will be stronger than it was before incorporating the sprints. And sprints are just good in general. Like if you're doing a weightlifting session and you just want to get like some good cardio in, you can start and finish with sprints, or start or finish with sprints. But no, I'm not training for anything. I guess you could technically say I've always been a runner, but I just haven't been running consistently in years, like 6-7 years.